What's good, everyone? So I've watched the Marvels, and I have to say, Marvel, MCU, Kevin Feige, Disney, whoever it is, you got my attention back. Like, I was not hyped at all about this movie, but the film, it surprised me in a good way. Directed by Nia DaCosta, The Marvels hit cinemas on November 10th. Brie Larson, Tiana Paris, and Iman Vellani reprised their roles from the previous MC movies and shows that they've starred in, and the story revolves around Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and Monica Rambeau dealing with the Kree revolutionary called Dar-Ben, with the added difficulty of their powers becoming entangled. So I went into this movie just of watching the first teaser trailer, and I think with that decision going into the film, with not knowing much, actually benefited in me having a good time with this movie. Now, does this film push the needle for comic book movies going forward? No, but with that said, Marvel, they needed this type of film. That's not to say films like Guardians 3, Wakanda Forever, plus a few other new Marvel titles are bad movies. I actually think that Guardians 3 is one of the strongest MCU movies, but ever since the start of Phase 4 and Disney's new direction of introducing the Disney Plus Marvel shows, I don't really know where we're heading with the new MCU. And when you add in the overall quality of Phase 4 and 5 productions, everything at the moment feels a little messy. But with this movie, The Marvels, I actually feel that the boat has started to steer back on course. The Marvels for me does a great job of just being an entertaining movie. Like, I had a lot of fun with this. To me, it definitely felt like an extension of the Ms. Marvel TV show more than a Captain Marvel movie. And I think that was a great idea. I think with characters like Captain Marvel and like the likes of Superman, these all powerful beings, I found it difficult to connect with them in the live action movies, since the majority of the time they're just super powerful, like they're just like one-dimensional. But with this film and the addition of Kamala Khan and Carol's history with Monica Rambeau, it adds a certain charm and emotional depth that helps to further the Captain Marvel character. I think the story's fine in the movie. It certainly benefits those who have kept up with the Marvel Disney Plus shows. If you haven't watched the likes of WandaVision or Ms. Marvel, it might take you a little time to become familiar with the new characters, but not watching either of those titles shouldn't affect your experience with this movie. It's relatively linear, like no major plot twists or major turns, but we get from point A to B in a manner that I found acceptable. We get to delve into what Carol Danvers was doing while she was away from Earth all that time. Kamala, she's expanding on her recent superhero stardom, and Monica Rambeau learning about her powers and trying to overcome the emotional damage that had been caused by Carol not returning to Earth when she promised, plus a few more things in this narrative. In my opinion, out of all the main characters in the movie, Monica Rambeau's storyline, it did feel the lightest, but I think that was purposely done because once you finish the film, you can see she's a seed planted for major things to come in the next few years. The star of the show, though, is Kamala Khan. I mean, she's amazing in this film, played by Iman Vellani, and what a fantastic addition to the MCU. I can't wait to see more of her in the MCU in future titles to come. I also like that this film, it took some creative risks. Also, there was some hilarious moments in this movie, and they also didn't feel out of place. The VFX was fine for me. The body switching elements looks really cool. The fight scenes were good. Each of the characters had their different power set, and it was great to see them use it to their advantage in the movie. Improvements that could have been made in the movie, one has to be the villain. Yet another Marvel villain that doesn't do anything for me. Didn't make me feel like, whoa, like they mean business, like something's gonna go down in this movie. Apart from a few fight scenes, there wasn't anything menacing about the character Dar-Ben, apart from the fact that she just wanted to show us her grills, and that's about it. I would have loved for Carol and Monica's storyline to have been fleshed out a bit more. Like, there were some typical Marvel gags that I felt could have been shortened, and then that time added towards the Carol and Monica storyline. Like, there were some things that I felt they could have done more with that scenario. And Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, he's one of my goats, but now he's definitely just collecting Marvel paychecks, man. Like, the Nick Fury value add that we used to get in the previous movies did not exist here, man. Like I was expecting something from Secret Invasion to spill into the movie, but nothing came about from that. Overall, with all that said, I was entertained by this movie. As I've already mentioned, I was pleasantly surprised by this film in a good way. I think for the first time post Endgame, you can start to finally see the puzzle clicking together. And when you get to the 2 post-credit scenes, stay right to the end, people. Boy, I'm excited for what's to come, man. Like, I am super gassed. So with that said, my rating for The Marvels is a Lowery 3 out of 5 stars. And I think this is a film that most people will enjoy. And I hope from here, the levels start to increase, man. Like, because if they nail what I think they're about to do, it might just turn out better than Infinity War and Endgame.